you.
Yeah.
Isn't
Taylor.
Taylor's the chairman.
Taylor's chairman.
Karen's the vice.
Yeah, you'll be.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Okay. Well, tell me when.
Okay, we are live.
All right, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Approval of the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections?
None that I know of.
I didn't have any.
Okay, seeing none, they will be approved as submitted. Public comments? None. Do we have any correspondence?
So I would say we have 2 items of correspondence since last meeting. One was a letter of resignation from Lauren Reiser, and another was a letter of interest from Denise Thompson, and both of those topics are on the agenda later, so we can discuss them down there.
Okay. All right, moving on to reports and discussion. Open class. Did she leave anything or?
Well, so she is planning a superintendent meeting. I think it's going to be for next Wednesday, to get that started. And she's hoping, so she did a group text to all the superintendents today. And nobody responded with that they weren't going to be a superintendent this year, so that's good. Mm-hmm. So we're hoping we don't have to replace anybody, or look for any new superintendents, but I'm not sure what else she was wanting to touch on today.
Okay, we can go back there if she connects. Vendors, Sheila.
Yeah. Val, are you there? Are you able to email that stuff to me, or do you want to just leave it at the office?
You know what I'll probably do is just leave it to the office because I had it on my work computer and I printed it all off for you, Sheila. Okay. And then I forgot it tonight. But I will get that definitely. Do I just leave it? Where do I leave it at for you?
You can actually just leave it there in that office if that's okay with you, Jessica.
Yeah.
Oh, at the fairground? Okay. I'll just leave it here then. Yeah.
And I did look through the vendor letters, and I was starting to kind of go through and update them, so that there's some information on there we'll have to update as far as the fair dates and whether we have, Wednesday night options. Sheila's information on here instead of Val's, things like that. But
yep. Jessica, do you have an electronic copy of the latest one, or it's not a big deal if you don't?
Yes, I have documents of our food vendors and our commercial vendors, letters, and applications, I guess they're called.
Okay.
So, yep. So I can email you those kind of things of what I do have.
And once we get going, Sheila, I'll be willing to help you with it. But whatever you need.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Yep. There's only 9 or 10 of them, so how bad could they be, right?
Okay, we'll just say that. I'm just kidding. They're all very, very kind. They're all very nice.
Yeah, I thought they were too, so it'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, Sheila?
Nope, that's it for now.
Okay. Anything from rodeo?
The only thing that I do know is also down below in Fair Board business on the agenda. That's just the joint meeting information.
Okay. All right. 4-H. We've been working on judges, working on the schedule. Fair book.
There's a little bit different livestock show schedule.
Yep.
They did change that a little bit.
For the fair? At the fair?
Yes,
Okay.
so they divided up rabbit and poultry instead of having both of them on Thursday afternoon. One of them is being sandwiched in the middle of the swine show and the lamb and goat show on Friday. So they're hoping it won't be running as long on Thursday night because last year's show ran pretty long. There won't be any rapid agility this year. They are not going to do that. So we can look at our fair schedule and decide if we want to find like a local entertainment for that Friday night at 5 slot, which might not be a bad idea. Or another idea that Allison had come up with, it was at some point we had 4-H robotics doing demonstrations out there. And then the program kind of got light with kids and there wasn't very many, but now it's going pretty strong again between 4-H and Stoke. And so that might be an idea to put some under the tent stuff.
I think something like that would be good
I
because
think
it
so,
promotes
too.
what we're doing too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, here's Taylor.
All right.
Taylor?
Yes.
Yeah?
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You're fine. So Val and Karen and myself are here in the office. Sheila is on the phone also. We just discussed, we're on reports and discussions from you guys. We just did vendors and rodeo and 4-H. Val can do, you want to do public relations, Val, and then we'll go back up to Taylor?
Okay, yeah,
So, we'll come back to you here.
I'm really not sure what, oh, sorry, Taylor. I'm really not sure what I'm supposed to be doing, so I guess I'll have to reach out to find out what I am supposed to do, what public relation entails. So I don't have anything else to report.
Okay. Taylor, open class.
Yes, so I am in the middle of working with our superintendents on getting a meeting on the books for hopefully this month to discuss kind of our game plan for this year for our open class items, and then just getting kind of thinking about trending items as far as like, I don't know, the new little things that the kids sew in their classrooms with like knitting needles or something. Like maybe we could put that into the class or something like that. So just trying to think outside the box. And then also, I know that Jess has probably more information because I talked to Jessie about it, the county commissioner, and we are able to use the TextMyGov. I did ask him about that just via email, and he said that we could use it. It shouldn't be an issue. What I did not want to bother him on, because he had said that he had talked to Jess and as well as Allison, is if it costs us something. I didn't ask and figured maybe he told you that, or maybe many of you guys were curious about that, so I was wondering if he told you.
Okay. I'll have to reach out to him and ask him
Okay. Okay.
if there is a per message cost.
Okay. Other than that, and he didn't mention anything right away, so I'm not sure, but I know that we were thinking about using that for the notifying people of the open class registration, I think, right? Maybe I'm making that up, and we were going to use it for the survey. I'm not sure, but maybe we could use it for both. I will say I get those texts. I just got one today, and they're extremely handy and a really nice reminder. So I hope that we are able to. I don't want to abuse it, but I'm really hopeful that we can use it in some form or fashion. So I think, in my opinion, I think we should use it to share the registration date for open class. And then maybe after the fair is over, we ask for the survey versus before, just because at this point, I don't really know how much we can, I don't know. Open thoughts on that, but that's just my 2 cents for my open class update.
Okay. All right, moving on to Fair Board business. Except Lauren, is it risers or risers?
I always say riser. I don't know.
Resignation dated 2/11/25.
So I was just going to read this so that we had it in record today. So she sent this Tuesday, February 11th. It was a couple days after our last Fair Board meeting, and so that's why, even though we've known about it for a while, we still have to, I guess, accept it, and then we have to notice the commissioners that we accepted it also. So it just says, "Hey Jessica, I will have to resign from the Fair Board. I just can't make those early meetings and can't give enough time like I need to. I do have someone that is interested in the position. Do you want me to have her send you a letter? I love our fair and rodeo. My heart is definitely in the rodeo side, and I will be planning some kid events to grow our community in that area. Thank you for all the hard work you put into this board, Lauren Reiser.
So I would accept a motion to accept it.
I move that we accept the resignation of Lauren Reiser from the Fair
I
Board.
second that.
So it's been moved and seconded to accept Lauren's resignation letter. Is there any discussion? Discussion? Discussion. See none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, moving on to a letter of interest.
So we did have to notice for 30 days in the paper. So tomorrow's paper will go out and have a legal notice in it. That will be the 4th one. And so that will be our 30 days of public notice. We've received one so far. So at our April meeting, we'll be able to review that one and any others that may come in order to make our recommendation to the commissioners. And then by that day, Thursday night, it'll be too late to be on the next week commissioners agenda, so it'll have to be the week after that. So it'll be probably another month or so before we can technically have a new person in here on the board, but that's just how it works.
Okay.
Jessica, do you think that one of us should volunteer to go to the rodeo meetings? Because we have some kind of presence there. Or,
Like in the meantime,
yeah.
so they just met on Monday. So their March meeting's already happened.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Their April meeting would be, cause they're usually second Mondays. Their April meeting should be the 14th, but they do have a joint meeting scheduled before then. That is on the agenda. The joint meeting is scheduled for April 7th. That's on the agenda below. So we will be meeting with them before the 14th.
Okay. I guess we can see how that goes and then see if we need to send someone or something.
Yeah.
When's the joint meeting?
And I'm not convenient, right? I am not going to be here on the 14th. I don't think so.
Okay.
Wait, what day is that? Isn't that a Friday?
No, they meet on Monday nights.
Oh, yeah. I'm flying home, so probably won't be there. Knowing my luck.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, sorry. I thought it was a Friday. Okay, that was all. Thank you.
Okay. 2025 fair logo.
So I had sent out some logo, just ideas, probably like a month ago at least. And I got, Taylor had responded. She liked the horse with the boys, but possibly make the horse bigger. But I can't, it's just in Canva and it's all like one piece, that background. The half moon background with the horse shadow in it is all like one thing. So I'd have to make the whole like moon or sun or whatever that is going to be bigger in order to make the horse bigger. Lauren liked the one with the horse with the riders, but she said possibly change it out for an alive tree instead of a dead tree. And then Jesse did get back and he said he likes the one of the dad and the boys kneeling in front of the horse. So I don't know, I just we just need to choose one so that we can start moving ahead with our fair book.
I looked at him. I thought I turned one in too, but yeah, I like this one here. This one right here with
the horse background.
The horse
with
background.
the dad and the.
Yeah.
I'm guessing 2 boys. It could be a girl.
Yeah. The kids with anyway.
With the
Yeah.
The dad with the kids with the moon and horse. Horse. Is that a sun?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
think it's a sun? A sun.
I think
horse?
it's yeah.
Behind it. So, yeah, that's. And I can make the figures smaller and still be able to keep the moon bigger, but or the sun. Sorry.
The background.
Whatever the background is, yeah.
I think it's, I mean, I didn't know that. I think it's fine. I'm not too concerned about it.
Yeah. I don't
My
think
comments, sorry.
I just like
I never know how that is, and it's all better than what I can do, so thank you for doing it.
I just like it it has the kids involved, and the fair is so much kids anymore that, you know, and the parents are, you know, busting their tush to get what their kids need done.
Okay, so you're good there?
So we're good with that one? Okay.
All right, concert or fair entertainment?
So I guess we just need to make a decision, because I have to start working on the fair book and the schedule and the sponsors. So usually when we do sponsors, we send out sponsor letters in April with them due back by some date around the end of April, so that we can get the fair book turned around and sent out the first week of May. In order to put the fair book out, we need to have our schedule. And in order to put the sponsor letter out, we need to have what we're doing also, so that we know what kind of perks we're giving them. So I just feel like we need to make a decision on, first of all, if we want to do a Wednesday night concert or not. Just an absolute, so that we at least can get that off of the table. You know, as far as the other fair entertainment, like the local people, probably want to reach out to at least two. We usually have time for at least two of them in our schedule, and get them penciled in so that we can start advertising them. That's not as important on the schedule. Like if we just have the time block, like we say Friday from 3 to 5, there will be live music under the tent. We don't necessarily have to put a name out. It's nice if we can, just so that it goes out into our book, but it's just like for the schedule, we need to have that at least blocked out for sure. And if if the other option of doing some sort of show or whatever, that also needs to be like ironed out in the next like week. So I guess that, you know, we've kind of been going back and forth on concerts or shows or all the other options, and there's just so many options and things to consider. But now it's kind of getting to the time where we need to make a choice, yes or no, either way.
I didn't stay last year for the concert, so how did that go over?
The Thursday night concert, it went over okay. There was not as many people there as I was hoping. What would you guys say, like maybe 80 to 100 people? Maybe.
I would say more.
You would say more?
No, I'd say what you said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd say probably a solid 80.
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably 40 of them came just for the concert, I feel like they were all waiting for it to start.
There was, so yeah, but that, I mean, no matter what, if we do Thursday night, we'd have to do that again. We'd have to kind of have an estimated start time until things are completely wrapped up over at the rodeo arena. You know, and the nice thing about that night was, well, it was pretty low priced because we really only had to pay the band, and I think we paid them $1,500. They brought, you know, everything else was brought in for free, so we didn't lose a ton of money on it. It definitely isn't as much work when you don't have to do ticketing and have people running gates and selling tickets ahead of time. So that's kind of a plus about having the free concert also. I don't think like their whole like sponsor thing with the free VIP area, I don't think barely anybody took advantage of that. I don't think any of the businesses like went and sat in there. Some people went in there and like danced, you know, but then.
Right.
If it was a bigger crowd, they might, you know, but it was kind of like wherever they sat, they could hear it.
All the seats were good seats. All the seats were good seats there. So, you know, and the guy that Sheila had been talking to, what was his name again? Chase
Uh,
Burgess.
yeah.
Something.
I think so. I remember the
They're-
manager's name more than his name. But
Yeah, so they did come back with a final. I should have printed off that email. Was it 6,000 that was their final offer, or 4?
well, the final offer was 4,000. But I guess even if we wanted to do something big like that, I would probably shop elsewhere because every time I talk to the guy, his price changes, and it's really hard to plan. When
Yeah.
you just don't know. Is it going to be 3,000 or 10,000? I mean, when I talked to him in November, it was 2,000. So.
Inflation.
So he's called quite a few times to the office, and he did email one. So we do have an email in writing that it would be
Right.
the 4,000. They are bringing all their sound equipment for wherever they're going that weekend. So we would only need to provide stage and lights if it's after dark, which
Right.
is pretty expensive. I mean, it can be. I don't know if they would be okay with the trailer like Blue Belly Junction was. You know, they might need something a little bit more fancy, like the first year, like El Wincho. And I'm pretty sure El Wincho's trailer, for them we had to do trailer, lights, and sound, and it was $2,500. And that was just
Okay.
for a 2-man band. I don't know. It might have to be a bigger trailer for these guys because I think they're more than just 2 people on the stage. I don't know.
Can you counter where he's been all over?
I don't know.
Well, this is the one. He's actually coming from California, and so I think he's trying to fill his schedule, which makes sense. But at the same time, you know, if we're filling a spot that otherwise would be empty, then my feeling is that there would be a little bit of negotiation room. But and it's up to you guys. If you guys want me to pursue that further, that's fine. I don't want to pursue it right up to the point of signing a contract and then sort of drop off. So if we want to do that, then I can definitely reach back out to him and see if we can maybe negotiate a little lower price.
Another thing that kind of holds me back for them is, like, I'd never heard of him. I don't think anyone around here has heard of him that much. You know,
Right.
so it's not a name, like I can't even remember the name. So it's not a name I've heard before or that I've even been like, oh yeah, they're really good. I've heard of them before. So that kind of makes me nervous, I guess, because if we did them, it would be a Wednesday night. It would be a ticketed concert, so it would be, a lot of work to put on if people don't show up.
I get where you're coming from. We need a little name recognition to get people to come out on a Wednesday night. Yeah. You know, we're in Montana, for crying out loud. If we want a country band, you probably couldn't swing a dead cat and not hit one. So maybe we should kind of stick locally.
I'm also
And
I think we talked about it a lot, but like, there's country music or concerts all over around us.
At the same time, yeah.
And so, my vote is to just not do one this year and see what happens. Because the worst that can happen is people are like, we want music on a Wednesday or Thursday.
And then we're going to be like, well, come and watch it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, then come, and then you can go back to like the more affordable, like maybe Dusty Tones or whatever it may be, more affordable people that they can have a flat bed trailer and that's what they get, kind of thing. But I don't know. That's my thought.
Can we, is there any way that we can take the money that we have, like for this year for entertainment and roll that and keep it and roll it over till next year to where we can have?
So the way that our budget works is this year's budgeted concert money has already been spent.
Okay.
So,
Because we pay
for
it behind.
2025's concert will be coming out of our 25-26 budget, which starts July
Right.
or June 30th.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we're making our budget for the next year, instead of if we're not going to spend that much money on a concert, we just put that money into something else.
Okay.
You know, I can check in to see if we can put it straight into our CIP and just transfer it straight in there and just say like, well, we're not doing one this year. We want to save it and put it towards our CIP for something bigger in the future, whether that's another concert or whether that's putting it towards a project at the fairgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, at this point, I can change our budget because it hasn't been made yet.
Okay.
The problem if we don't do a concert will be like the sponsors thing, you know, but maybe if we're going to do like a pie contest or something, maybe we can, I don't know, tell them, you know, because their signage was at the concert, or their names were on the PA at the concert. I don't know, we can, and a lot, like, I already have a sponsorship from one of the local businesses. They already dropped it off. And I'm like, I don't even know what we're giving yet. They're like, it don't matter.
So they're going to donate whether
yes.
they get anything or not,
Yes.
right?
So, I mean, we'll still have the signs. We'll still have their logo in our fair book and the posters and the schedules. We can still put their stuff on the internet and social media. Really, you know, there's always just one other big thing for the 4 concert tickets usually for the big sponsors, and saying their name out loud at the concert. I mean, we could drop our costs and just take those kind of things out for this year and just say like, you know, we are not doing a concert this year, so.
Could we find something for the kids to do and still use their signs, still use their sponsor money, promote their business, but in a different, maybe just a little bit more cost effective this year?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because that is something that there's not a ton for the kids out there.
No. And on our sponsor letter that they get, you know, we tell them we are collecting these sponsorships to help offset the cost of the free entertainment provided during the fair. So it doesn't say, you know, it's only for the concert. It does say it's for like the DJ dance for Saturday night. It's for bounce houses, STEM activities, those kind of things. You know, so we can put more money if we get sponsorships. We can put more money into those things. You know, get a couple other bounce house type activities, like they have, like, you know, a football thrower or little things like that that are a little bit less expensive. Or
What about does someone do face painting, or like just things that
involve the kids.
Involve the kids.
I'd be supportive of that too. Because I also think, Jess, in my opinion, that like you said, they don't really care what they get. They're just trying to do a good deed.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. So I kind of feel like they don't really need anything. If you wanted, you could give them like 2 drink tokens or something. I don't really know, but
Yeah,
we could still do that.
Yeah, we could possibly. Yeah, we could still do drink tickets that they could use,
Or
with the rodeo stand.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe even get tickets for one of the meals, or maybe they get.
Depending on who our food vendors are, and we probably have to talk to each one of them and ask them if we made up some sort of a voucher, if they would be willing to accept it, and then at the end of the day, we can check with them and see if anybody used their voucher and trade their voucher for $10,
Right.
or whatever it's going to be worth.
So I just got home. What I was on my way home from was the Houston Rodeo, and they call them Howdy Bucks, and that's what our company did. Was on Community Day, we handed out all kinds of free stuff, and some of it, they were $5 coupons called Howdy Bucks, and it wasn't just us handing them out throughout the duration of the Houston Rodeo, but it could be, like maybe people wanted to come buy Howdy Bucks, and then people could use them as a gift or something. Like I don't know, but it could be an opportunity that way. We could call them Howdy Bucks if we wanted to or something.
And maybe they could use them even at the vendors in the commercial building. Like maybe we don't care where they
Yeah,
spend them, because then it helps them too.
Mm-hmm. Tell them they get, an X amount of, whatever bucks. And have to think of a good name for them. But I mean, I think that would be okay, because really what do we do?
Oh, I also forgot to report, and this is kind of along the lines of this a little bit for things for people to do. Gemma with FFA said that she would be willing to help with like an escape room. I know we had talked about an escape room, and that she has like a designing class, so they could help design something, and then Clinton Watson's class could maybe build it or something like that. So, I know we brought that up. I was looking at my notes from last meeting.
Okay. So I guess,
maybe the funds could, back to like when we get the funds, it could maybe go to like the wood, or I don't really know, whatever they need to build an escape room, and then their names could be also like on a smaller poster or something attached to that. I don't know.
mhm. So is it safe to say we are going to forego Wednesday night concert?
Yes.
I think, yes, yeah. Sorry, is that what you guys said too and I missed it?
Would you like
I feel
to-
like Karen should.
Would you like to take?
Oh, I was just giving you my opinion.
No, you're
I'm
good.
sorry.
Do you want to make a motion and then it's official?
Sure.
Yeah, I move to forego the concert at the fair this year.
Is there a
I
second?
second.
It's been moved and seconded that we forego the concert this year at fair. Is there any discussion? Discussion. Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, so then sponsors, which we were kind of talking about. Do we want to go ahead with sponsors and use it, whether it's for the escape room? I mean, I think we can promote them. The businesses. I mean, I think we can.
Yeah, I really think that we could still reach out to them, and if they don't want to do it since there's no concert, then that's fine. They can take a year off too. But I feel like someone said earlier, like a lot of them just do it because it's something to do. It's an option of some way to support. So I don't think it's a bad idea to still do it, and I kind of like the idea of Kayla's like the Howdy Buck thing as a perk. I feel like that wouldn't be too terribly hard to do logistically. I guess we would have to just let all of our vendors know as they signed up and let them know, and maybe as they get there, we give them an example one, like this is what our Howdy Buck looks like, this is accepted. I will be around. I don't know if I want to go around every night. Usually for the rodeo, the drink tickets, I would check out with them on Wednesday night or Thursday night, whatever, right after the concert, and then I would check back with them like on Saturday night, and then check back with them on Sunday again. There usually wasn't much to pay out on Sunday. Just tell them that we'll check out with them
A couple of times and then make sure we touch base before they leave.
The vouchers would be exchanged for cash.
I think that's a great idea.
I think it's a good idea too.
And I can obviously certainly take care of the vendors if someone wants to handle the rodeo side. I assume beer garden and that kind of thing would be the other place.
Yep, and we can reach out to them to make sure that that's okay. It'll probably actually be easier if it's like a dollar amount.
They were I'm just referring to the user rent. They were $5. I think I even have one if you talk it. I can maybe bring.
Your little voucher. Okay.
Yeah, my little voucher. And it was only worth $5. And like say, for instance, my food cost like $16.50 or $15.60. Like, I just gave them the $15. So at that point, she's like, I'll eat your 60 cents. But, and if anything, you know, we pay over, then we pay over. But
what about like if something was, okay, so like if you go to the beer garden, you get a drink for $3 and they gave you and you used a $5 voucher, did they give you $2 cash back? Or were they just like, okay.
They didn't, no.
I think you
So
just
that's the
put
thing,
on
is
there,
like-
no cash value or no change,
Yeah.
like, so it's.
Yeah, no
Okay.
change.
You
Okay.
just, and that way we're not dealing with.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, quite honestly, the vendors could make money off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That gives me some things to work on as far as the letters and stuff to start fixing those and getting those new drafts done.
Okay, and then you'll get us a list.
Yeah, the sponsor list. So our next meeting is April 10th. Do you guys want to just do the sponsors then and just, that's only 2 weeks before, I would like to have them back in the office by the 25th.
Can you send us a list?
I could email the list
and
out.
email the.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's best if you could email the list and the letter. That way we can kind of get an earlier jump on it rather than a late jump on it.
Yeah. You know, because usually when we do it here in person, you guys put your names by which ones you for sure want to visit. So I guess maybe if I email it out, you guys can browse through it and just like reply all maybe.
Right, respond to all.
Respond to all,
Yeah.
everybody in the email so that of which ones you will for sure be going to. And then I can keep a master copy of it. And I can send out an updated one after everybody responds once. And I can update who's doing what and send it out to you guys again.
Okay.
I don't know if I do this with a lot of stuff. You just share the link, so then we can go in and we can all go in and put in our own names.
Like
It's
the
just
Google
like doing it
Sheets?
in person, but it's on the
Yeah,
computer.
you can do it with Excel and stuff too.
You can?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can show you how or
Okay.
tell you how.
Yeah, if you tell me how, I could do that. Like a live,
Yeah.
a live document
Is
that
that-
everyone can edit.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you have like a like a share, like a Google Drive or a shared drive or like a one drive, right? I would think.
Yes, I have a OneDrive.
Yeah. Okay, that's perfect. Yep, that's all I need.
All right, so we'll watch for that. That'll work good. Moving on to Fairbook. You want it printed by 5/9/25?
Yeah, so that's my goal, is to have it printed by, that's like the end of the first full week of May. And that way I can get it on the website. Because then we will, let's see, I have fair entries open on May 15th. So that way that kind of starts advertising as far as the fair entries being opened also, and it's available by the time they're open. That's important.
Yeah.
So that's my goal for that. So I do need sponsors there. I need the schedule. I'll reach out to some. Is there any specific local entertainment you guys would like to see this year? I mean, last year we had that Jasper Eshelman and Travis Reagan. So do we want to go back and like ask Judy again this year? Or anyone else you can think of?
This is like kind of a silly question, but do you ladies know of any is there like a high school band? Not like the pep band or anything, but like some kids who like to jam out? I don't know of anyone in high school, but
Yeah, I don't either.
It's really, I don't know anyone.
I don't know any of
Right
them
now.
either. We barely have enough kids to have a pep band. We have like one
Okay.
kid in each instrument.
okay, there you have it. That answered my question. Never mind.
We could have the pep band then. Oh dear. I don't even know of any bands or any people that.
We've also done the Alleles.
Oh,
Done
yeah.
them before.
Yeah, they've done.
The what, Jess?
It's a family, well, a family plus some friends, I think, but
Yeah.
their last name is Eliel, Eliel.
Okay.
Did the painting go?
Oh, that was
through last year?
fun. That was a
Okay.
really good
Paint
thing.
workshop.
Yeah,
paint
we
room.
did.
should do that
Yeah, we
again.
did.
Oh yeah, that was a big hit.
That was fun.
I do also think that maybe the jewelry one was a big hit.
Oh, that was a big hit too,
I can reach out to those ladies and see if they want to
Jen. Yeah.
Do those things again.
I think it's
Yeah,
it's
and
good.
I'm also curious to know if maybe I know Caroline is pretty. Oh, she has her group though. Never mind. I was gonna say if she would want to do like a kid education thing or something, but with like agriculture. But I think she has her group of ladies in. So probably want to do that.
Okay. Are we
We-
gonna do a pie contest again?
Let's do it. I think it's a hit.
Oh yeah. I think it
And-
is too.
Last year we did the boot decorating contest. Do we want to do something else like that for the?
What is it? What is the logo
That would be
again?
fun,
It's blue
actually.
jeans and country dreams.
Like
It
decorated
would
pair
be.
of jeans.
Yes, that's what I was just gonna say. That. Yeah.
Do you know what would be
decor-
really fun would be to have like a blue jean contest, like a model a pair of blue jeans.
Oh my gosh.
That would be a little bit more work than like the stationary drop your boot.
Yeah.
We'll judge it when we get it.
Oh my gosh. But how fun though. We should think about that. Actually, you know what? Mr. What is it called? Mr. Congeniality or something. It's like where they have the boys dress up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was my first thought was like
Oh yeah.
some Wrangler jeans.
Yeah.
Model.
I,
Yeah.
I think that would have under the
I
tent
was just
time.
thinking for like a competition for like Mr. Broadwater County Fair or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
We could like instead of like a concert. I don't know. Just trying to think of like fun entertainment.
Yeah.
Get people
And-
nominated.
For
And you get
Thursday night
up
after
this
the
year,
kid
whatever, but-
rodeo.
Yeah.
under the tents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be really fun if you couldn't see their faces, you know. 'Cause just check from the bottom, you know.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a dirty old woman. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Didn't come out quite right.
But anyways, I guess the contest. So we could do like a decorate jeans.
Yeah.
If they do like a full-on pair of jeans, it might be harder to display. I guess we could like clip them to a couple
Yeah,
of the
I think
tops of quilt
we-
racks.
You could do, yeah, you could do.
Yeah,
you
just
could also
around
do
the
wire
room.
too and
Using
hang
that's just
them.
decoration. We can
We
just
can hang
clip
them
them to
all
the
out
wall.
around the room.
Mm-hmm.
Or even hang them on the front, you know, like clothesline.
Like a
you know.
clothesline of jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
So
That would be cute for decoration.
pretty
yeah.
much like the same kind of rules as last year, just instead of a boot, it's a pair of jeans.
Yeah, drop them off. And then we'll have your name and you win, what was it, 25 bucks? Or what did we do?
We picked 3 people. I think we did. Did we do 25,
Yeah.
15, and 10?
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah. Wait, no, I think was it just 25? Someone won 50 bucks. I think it was 50 bucks.
Yeah, I
It was
have-
100, remember? It
Was
added
it?
up to 100.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah, I think so for the boot contest, and then it was 100 also for the pie eating. We did 25, 25, 25, 25. For the 4 different age groups.
Okay. Yeah, I can look up our little ad thing from the boot one and just change it around and put some new pictures on it for the jeans. I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, and then we can put that on the poster too, right?
Yep, because if we have that decided, it can go into our fair book and on our poster, and
Then I can run around town a few weeks before and remind people. I think that helped.
I think it
You
did
know?
too. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. All right. Anything else for the fair book?
I don't know. I think that helps a lot. least get me a good start on it.
Okay.
Some time to get in there and do some edits.
Okay. April.
Can I ask real quick? Under the tent entertainment, Teddy did his pod racing. Was that
yeah.
a hit? I think it was, wasn't it?
I guess I didn't look over there too often, but maybe we can talk to him on Wednesday or
Yeah.
next week, hopefully, if he makes the superintendent meeting.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Sorry, that was the only addition that I had.
Nope, you're good.
Okay. The joint meeting with the rodeo, you said April 7th. Do you know what time?
6:30 at City Hall. And I will not...
April 7th?
It's a Monday night, and I will not be here. So I completely trust you guys to voice
What time
our
did you say?
concerns. No.
6:30.
Thank you.
So a big part, so the next part, water tower construction project. I'm sure you guys have noticed if you've driven out past the fairground that there's gigantic piles of dirt and all sorts of trucks that take up almost that whole entire pivot corner now. So the water tower project was passed, and so it got started, and so the first step of it is they're working on the main line from town to the fairgrounds. So I did talk to Eric Crush and just make sure that they would not be planning on putting the pipe in under the fairgrounds entrance during Fair Week, and they're aware of that. They know that that's in their minds, so they won't be doing that during the week that we really need to have access to the fairgrounds. The finished product of the water tower, because then I was asking him, because we're gonna have to look, we're gonna lose half that pivot corner.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of borrowed anyways, so we can't really be too mad about it. It wasn't ours. They allowed us to use it for the week that we were allowed to use it, so we can't really be too upset about it. We just have to figure out what we're gonna do about it, I guess. The finished product, once it's finished, but this will not be until like next fall, it will have a huge fence around the bottom. So it will be fenced off 200 feet along the highway, 145 feet into the field, and then it'll come back 125, and then it'll kind of taper in. So it won't be a huge square of 200 by 145, but it's going to take a good chunk of what was our rodeo contestant parking. In the meeting in April, I believe Eric Crush is going to also be there so that he can put everybody on the same page as far as the project timeline. And I talked to him to ask the crew that's working on it some questions. Like as of Fair Week, will those huge piles still be there? Will they be taking that footprint that they're using right now? So the footprint they're using right now is a lot bigger than what the final footprint will be. So that's a plus. But my question is for him was to ask them what they're thinking it might look like during Fair Week as far as how much room is going to be taken that we will not be able to use. So hopefully, I don't know if that's something that they'll even know. I mean, there's a huge hole there. That's why there's a big pile of dirt. And I know they were going to be pouring a concrete base at some point that has to cure for a year before they can even build on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know how much of that dirt can go back into the ground at some point, or how many of those trucks are going to be around during Fair Week. I don't know. So we're kind of up in the air on that. But so I think on that night, a lot of the discussion will probably be centered around the lost parking that we're going to have from this project. So there's some ideas I think that they're checking into as far as maybe changing up some camping areas, maybe trying to use the Lyman Rodeo area with the poles as that was kind of my idea, is try to see if we can get some campers pushed into that area. Because we don't want anything that's going to be driving a lot because there's a lot of poles in there. So we want anything that's going to be in there, they park, they don't move again until they're moving out. Mm-hmm. So I talked to Lisa about that too, and her and Chucky were going to kind of check out that area and kind of do some measuring. So I think that'll be a lot of the discussion for that night, I'm guessing. So hopefully, our post rodeo and fair meeting went pretty good. There wasn't a lot of issues, so there shouldn't be a lot of issues, you know, that are coming from last year that are rolling over to talk about. So I'm hoping that that's mostly what is talked about that night.
Yes, I have a question about the toilets.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing last year. What we decided it all went fairly well last year, right? We could do the same thing again this year.
Yes, so I guess that would be something I would like to bring up with them to see if they would be willing. Last year they paid a quarter of that contract, and we paid the gal $500 to clean and stock the bathrooms for the weekend, or for, I think we did Thursday through Sunday. Last year they paid a quarter of that, and we paid 75% of it. So that is something that they'd be willing to do, and I think it worked well as far as not needing any extra porta potties to be placed there. So I guess, yeah, that's another thing to discuss during that meeting.
And the garbage too, right?
So the garbage, they have it's pretty much figured out. So they're invoicing us for half of the garbage fees. And I know during rodeo week they were gonna make sure that the contract said that it's picked up daily. So that should be all ironed out. It's been a while since they've sent me an invoice for that though, so. But
Speaking of that,
yeah.
okay.
Do you know during rodeo week, will they be working on the water tower, or are they going to be able to take a few days off without all the people running around?
I'm not sure on that either. I know Eric has told them about that weekend and that it's really busy. So I don't know what their schedule is going to be like, you know, what part of the project they're going to be in at that time. If it's something that they can walk away from for a few days, it might be helpful. I mean, they for sure should be working Saturday or Sunday. So I mean, even if they were working Thursday, Friday during the day, and they veer off to the airport road, so they don't actually enter the grounds. Their traffic, they're in where they park and stuff. So if they're there, they should only be there during like normal working hours. I haven't seen them working past normal working hours, but I don't know when like the days are longer, if they will or not.
Okay. My only concern is with the understanding that, you know, we're going to have little kids there, and they're going to have big equipment, and little kids and big equipment just love each other, so.
Yeah, and it might be a good idea for them, like, you know, when they leave for the weekend, hopefully they kind of park everything tight, maybe even throw up because they have a construction fence out there right now that is put up alongside some of the stuff. And I know when they leave for the weekend, they arrange their heavy equipment, whatever, all those tractors and whatever diggers,
right.
You know, they have them all around a huge hole, and they do have a caution tape like wrapped around from one to another to
Okay.
hopefully deter anybody from trying to walk through and falling down in the pit. That pit's got to be deep, the size of that pile.
Right.
I
guess my other comment was going to be if they need, you know, cones or tape or something like that. Is that something that we can provide, like through the county or something, if they need it? But it sounds like they've got it covered.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's reasonable to ask them to make sure it's secured pretty well. And like the same thing with the Lineman Rodeo, you know, 2 weeks before fair, that's going to be a pretty heavily attended event, and so hopefully they can make sure things are just, I mean, it's always a good idea when you leave your construction site for the weekend anyways to button things up nicely, but maybe we'll bring up to them to make sure for those weekends when we have bigger events.
Okay. Doesn't look like there's any old business, so moving on to new business, rental updates.
So the building, there's been quite a few 4-H workshops out there. There was, Extension used it for a pesticide licensor course The Conservation District used it a couple weekends ago. We have some paying rentals coming up in May, in June, and July, and August. All the big holiday weekends are booked up out there. We did one issue, so far this winter, what we did with the heaters is we didn't have people turn them off. We had them turn them down. And like 40, or I think that thermostat will only go to 50. So they're supposed to turn them down when they leave. I know Karen went in there one day after a workshop and it was pretty warm in there.
Pretty warm.
So they had been left on. So we filled our propane tank in January, like January 24th or 25th. Filled it. And that's pretty normal. We usually have to fill it in January. Well, as of the end of February, we were down to 40% again. So we went through almost 400 gallons in 5 weeks. And so it was 4-H workshops out there, the 4-H spaghetti feed, there was the Conservation District, the Extension Office PAT class, which was an all-day class, and so they were all no-charge rentals. So we started turning them off again, the heaters, and that might just be something we have to do is completely turn them off. I didn't think that they were going to go through that much. But yeah, so we're down. So we're not going to fill it yet, just because the weather doesn't look like it's going to get really cold, and we don't have, we have a few things that are in there for 3 or 4 hours at a time. So we're not going to fill it yet. We'll try to squeak by another month or so before we have to fill again. But it is something to, and I don't know really what to do about it. 'Cause
How about like a smart thermostat that you could control from your phone? Something like that, where if you've got a rental, you can get on there and say, okay, in 2 hours, turn it on to this temperature, and then when they're done, turn it off. And you don't have to go up there to do it.
Yeah.
I think you have to have internet for it, though, don't you?
Well, there's Wi-Fi at the building. Wi-Fi at the building.
That'd be maybe a grant.
Smart thermostat. Yeah, so I mean, we could look into and I could probably call Danny Kirk, because he's the one that just put those in with those thermostats, and see what an upgrade would cost.
Yeah, if he's got something like that in his arsenal, otherwise we can probably find something anywhere and have him install it.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, it'll just be an off-on thing, and then I guess just keep watching it. And
It was pretty cold though during those weeks.
It was cold.
Yeah.
That was the coldest temps that we had all winter. But
And if people are in there,
I don't think they were turning them down when they left.
Yeah,
I mean, and so
probably.
you're at 65.
that's the hard part. I send out reminders of what they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, sometimes they don't even remember to pick up keys. So
Yeah.
Oh dear.
um,
You can put in that contract. If he does not pay or turn down, you will be responsible for paying part of the
well,
Could you
power.
put a checklist on the keys, like just
I did have a little thing in there that I had laminated at one point, that just had the office phone number and my cell phone number, and the information, to drop them in the slot and stuff.
but even
They
just
just
a
don't-
main
Yeah.
maybe
I can do that
maybe
again.
it's only 3 things and it's hooked right on. I mean,
Mhm.
you could laminate it and stick it right on the keys.
Is
the heat off?
It fell apart even with laminating it before, punching a hole and putting it through the keychain. It fell.
Could you do those
Okay.
hard ones?
Could maybe do a hard one that's engraved.
Or
Yeah,
put it
maybe.
on the door. Did you turn off heat?
Well, there's like a 4-H building checklist that I give to all the paying renters and even people who are using it for like a full day. I give it to them every time. 4-H I don't. I email all the leaders. And I did one this year,
Yeah.
like in November or
Yeah.
December, like hey, remember if you're using the 4-H building, this is what we need.
Maybe it's
But all the other ones get a checklist, and it says like, hey, you are responsible for cleaning. You do need to take out your own trash. Sweep, mop, kitchen.
well, maybe the 4-H needs to have the same. Whoever has those keys. I mean, they have to learn to be responsible too.
Well, and I haven't talked to Allison, but I am kind of toying with the idea. And I don't know what I can do, but because I went out there because we have Broadwater Education Foundation, and they're another non-paying rental. They're out there tonight, and they went out there last night to set up. So I went out there yesterday morning to check the building, and I was not extremely happy on the way that it was left. Like there was a bunch of trash, like even just garbage, like on the women's bathroom floor, there was just paper towel chunks and like styrofoam cup chunks on the ground in there, and there was garbages that weren't taken out. So I took pictures of it, and I've kind of taken pictures when I go out there and there's not things that I'm like the sweeping pile that I had to sweep up after workshops, and so I might talk to Allison about it and see what she thinks, if we just need to have like a little like more of a hand slapping thing with some of the 4-H project leaders or what, because yeah, they are getting the building for free. But like I don't expect to have to go out there and clean up after.
Right. It needs to be, when they leave, it needs to be in rentable, so that when that renter comes in, it's clean. I mean, that's just.
Yeah. So I think I just have to have conversation with Allison and just show her some of the pictures, and it's nothing like horrible. Like I don't have to pull out the mop bucket usually, but still, I think on Wednesday morning it took me like 35 minutes out there, when really, I should only have to go out there for 5 minutes and just make sure things are good and be back to the office. So
I think 4-H could do better. I mean, as far as leaders and as far as kids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they need to learn that they can do better. I think if it's brought to their attention, I think.
But they do have, the Old Baldy Club will be out there on April 6th to do the annual deep clean that a 4-H club, and it rotates through the club. So I'm working on a list. So they might have a good list of things to clean. So anyways, I guess that's my rentals update. There we go.
All right. Next meeting, April 10th at 5:15.
Sorry, can I just ask a few questions?
Yep.
Sorry. Two things on the entertainment for underneath the tent or whatever for the fair. Did we do the Girl Scout band last year? I can't remember.
We did get the Girl Scout band last year.
Is it potential we could do that again?
I can email the lady and see. I remember, so for last year's fair, we were on their list during the fair before. So I reached out on like the fair of 2023. I reached out to them, and they were filled up for the summer of 2024. So I can reach out to them and see if they happen to have any opening in their calendar for this year.
Do you think
And then the other one was the PTA fair.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
they were technically signed up as a vendor.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I missed-
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can reach out to them and see if they're interested.
I think
in
it would be
doing
good.
Mhm.
They had a lot of things for kids to do.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
did.
It just got so hot. It just got so hot that they,
Mhm. It was hard for them over there.
yeah.
Could you put them on the other side?
Could they do it earlier in the morning? Or no?
What were their hours?
I don't know. I thought they started at like 10, but it was so hot last year. everybody was melting. So,
And then this is also another really quick question, just to put the feelers and thinkers out there. Again, I was in Houston, so specifically, and because I'm learning this, do we think a petting zoo?
they used to have a petting zoo.
Go ahead.
Val said that we used to have one. We used to have a little pony ride thing too, but they're not doing it. I remember reaching out to them, and they're not doing it anymore. The ones that I did. Well, I mean, the 4-H barn is kind of a petting zoo.
I know, I thought of that. I don't mean to even I was just trying to think, that was such a big hit. And specifically, there's people in our community that wanted to come out to the Clark Ranch to see baby calves and touch them because they've never been around animals. And those are people that have lived in the community for 5 years. And I'm like, how are we missing this? And I don't know, I just think I'm with you. So I don't know if there's maybe a way that it could be advertised a bit more, or I don't know. I was just thinking about it, so sorry, but
Yeah. It used
they
to
also had
be,
this really cool thing at the Houston Fair where you could watch baby chicks be born. So you could, I don't know, just trying to think. They're very good at educating their general community in Texas at the Houston Rodeo. And I was like, man, we got to do better in Montana. Really across the United States, but in Montana as well. So anyway, I'm passionate today. Sorry.
You're good. I mean, the petting zoo isn't a bad idea. If we wanted to bring people in with maybe kind of things that are different, like someone with maybe a little mini Highland cow or a fainting goat, things.
Yeah.
Yay!
I guess it'd be useful if there were things that were different from what's in the 4-H barn, more exotic, I guess.
Because I know there's people up Deep Creek, I think it is, or up Dry Creek that have llamas. Do we have those at the fair?
No, we do not.
I don't know who the
They
people
spit.
are, but anyway.
I was gonna say till they get
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is, I think it phased out was because we couldn't get anybody to sit there. If they brought their animal, they're gonna have to have set times and then supervise it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kelly Herringfeld did it for many, many years.
Oh.
Her and Amanda.
Well, and I know Kendall has a Highland cow.
Does she? I
The-
was wondering. I'm like,
I think
don't
one
know
had a
if
baby
anyone-
too, so. I mean, if it's definitely an idea, even if it's just one day for a few hours.
Yeah.
I think we would probably want whoever brought animals, we would want them responsible for them the whole time that they're on the grounds. Just so
Yeah.
we don't have to worry about any responsibility issues, liability wise, I don't want to kill
Right.
anybody's baby
Right.
cow.
Right. You just
No, and my other thought is, I don't know how it would work, but maybe visit the llamas today. Oh, the Highlander is going to be tomorrow. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could do.
Kind of keeping them coming back, and then
Mm-hmm.
you don't have them because I don't remember where I was doing this at, but we were trying to contemplate just exposure to other diseases and animals and all that stuff, trying to be thoughtful of that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that would be my concern with if there are 2 separate days, we'd probably want to move the pen area that they're in so that they're not, the Highland cows aren't stepping
Where the
around in
llama-
all the llama poop
Yeah.
and stuff. So we don't have to worry
Right.
about transmissions of diseases and things like that. But I mean, especially if PTA doesn't do anything, that wouldn't be a bad. I mean, but there's no shade on that side, so it does make it hard. It'd be hard for animals to be over in the fenced area.
Yeah, because it used to be right behind that other outhouse right next.
Yeah.
So there's the 4-H building, and then there's the outhouse, and then it was in that shaded area, right?
Oh, like
Right
near
behind
the
there.
stock pen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to get a permanent cover underneath under the tent, so then we can move the tent.
If we get a permanent cover, we're gonna have a tent burning ceremony.
We need it for the animals or the PTA people.
Oh, shucks.
Okay, I don't wanna, I'm sorry. I made it home, you guys are still there, so I don't wanna go that far, but it's just ideas I was thinking of.
All right, anything else? All right, seeing
What time
none.
was the joint meeting again?
April 7th at 6:30 at the City Hall.
6:30, okay.
Yep. So we will meet on the joint meeting, and then we have our individual meeting April 10th at 5:15.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. We will adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.